Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be talking about narcissists' phone call double standards. We all know that narcissists kind of like a habit of not answering their phone, or they don't reply back to texts for like long periods of times. Now, like normal people, they do that too, but narcissists do it for a different reason. If you don't have something that they want, or if, it's not going to be this whole drama thing because they love drama, like if it's just going to be like a semi-normal phone call, I don't know, their mentality is, oh, I don't have time for you, because there's nothing in it for them. So that's why they don't reply or answer their phone. But if you don't answer your phone, it's a whole nother story. Or if you don't reply back to their text like immediately, they blow up your phone and they get hateful, like very hateful. Like they go from 0 to 100 in like 2 or 3 texts. They also try to make you feel guilty for not getting back to them. And a lot of times they like to use health problems. Like they'll say, oh, you didn't get back to me, I could have died. What if I had fallen down and broken my hip? It's like, but you didn't. And I don't know, they have this thing where like, if you want to contact them, they can't be bothered with you, but if you don't reply back to them when they want your attention, it's like World War III for them. There was a time that I actually lived in the same apartment building as my narcissistic mother. I think we lived like 3 or 4 apartments. We were on the same floor, so we were just like a few apartment doors away from each other. And I worked night shift. I think it was like 9 o'clock at night until 6 o'clock in the morning. So when I got home, I would need to wind down for a little bit, and I would probably go to bed around, 8:30, 9 o'clock. And just as I'm like falling asleep, she was either banging on my door or calling me, demanding that I get up and take her somewhere. And she would call me lazy. And she would think it was wrong for me to sleep during the day. Granted, when would I sleep? Because, I work at night. So it didn't matter to her that I didn't get any sleep if I had to take her somewhere. And if I didn't, she would start calling me first before she would come to my door and start banging it down. It was the worst decision ever, because everybody in the apartment building knew my mom. And they all absolutely loved her, and they all thought that I was horrible because I would be sleeping all day. Making it sound like I'm a lazy person for daring to sleep at some point. Now, if I asked ever, hey, why didn't you pick up? She would give me an attitude and say, well, I have a life and it doesn't revolve around you. But when I can't pick up right away or text right away, she will call and text multiple times or show up at my door. She'll leave multiple voicemails calling me selfish, saying, oh, you won't pick up and I need a ride to the doctor's. Now, granted, most of the time when she needed to go to the doctor's, she didn't tell me beforehand. she would wait until basically she had to leave. And be like, I need to go to the doctor's. My appointment's in 10 minutes. You need to get off your ass and take me to the doctor's. No, that's your problem. I told you before, if you have to go to the doctor's, give me 24-hour notice so that I can prepare, you know, maybe take naps at different times, something like that. But she wouldn't. And I was the ungrateful child that wouldn't do anything for my mother. Now, granted, she never asked my half-brother for anything. He's like 13 years older than me. Never asked him for rides, never asked him to do anything for her. And, you know, I mean, it's not really never, but it was almost never. It was always me that had to be the one to do things for her. But if I ever said no, he would swoop in acting like the knight in shining armor that had to sweep her away. And, you know, he's the good child because the once in every blue moon, he actually took her somewhere for wherever she needed to go. And I was made out to be the bad guy because, you know, I wasn't doing 100% of taking care of her. Now with my ex, if he doesn't respond right away, it doesn't really bother me. I sit and wait. Unless it's something like an emergency, I'll tell him, hey, it's an emergency, contact me back when you can, and I wait. I don't hound him like 80 texts in a row just because, you know, I'm impatient. But if I don't respond to him, he texts multiple times and he accuses me of ignoring him and he gets angry. There was one time that I think I was taking a nap and he needed some sort of information that I had. And I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, I think it was when he was overseas and he was getting ready to come back to the United States and he was going to be staying with me, and I think the military wanted proof, some sort of proof that he was going to be staying here, and he needed it like ASAP, but I didn't know. I was napping, so he sent me like a whole bunch of messages in a row freaking out on me, and I got back to him when I did. You know, like the second I saw it, I immediately dropped everything and got it for him. Narcissists also hate being ignored, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that they don't have control over you. So the fact that they can't control you to make you reply back to them whenever they want, that's why they go crazy. Because everything with them, they're impatient and they want everything done immediately because they think that the world revolves around them, and it doesn't. So anyway, if you have any stories or anything that you want to talk about how your narcissist reacts whenever you don't reply like right away, or if you somehow ask why they didn't reply back as soon as possible, if it's something that's an emergency, go ahead and comment, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.